Hello everyone and welcome to Sunburned Albino does dark types now for the tier list. Episode, is it 11 now? Dude, we're more than halfway done. There's only 17 types in this game. And I would be totally happy if it stayed that way, by the way. So, let's see what we got. Dude, there's less dark types than I thought there was, to be honest with you. And, I think we're going to see a lot of, like, Fs and S's and not a ton of in between. Because, like, Dark types is very polarizing in terms of what they're either terrible or, like, real good. With some stuff in the middle. But, we're going to start with F tier. Because that's where Alolan Raticate is, in the top left there. Bottom left on the tier list. Alolan Raticate is a fat fatty. And the only problem with him that makes him worse than regular Raticate is that he's a fat fatty. Look at those cheeks. Look at those cheeks. Oh, dude, he's disgusting. They like bred with a squirrel and is just storing disgust in his cheeks. It's gross. I don't like it at all. Alolan Rat. Dude, they made most Alolan Pokemon just dark type for no reason. And then so, like Alolan Raticate, then they did that to Persian, they did that to Grimer, they did it, dude, they did it to so many Pokemon. They're just like, and it's like, it's Alola. Like, is something sinister happening in Alola where, like, all the Pokemon are turning evil? I don't know, man. I just know that you're F tier. I also know that you're F tier, Alolan Persian, you Garfield-looking, but, like, with normal color. Normal? For all those, more modern Garfield readers, they introduced Nermal after like the 20th book or something. Dude, I grew up with Garfield, okay? When I was in elementary school, I used to read that shit to my classmates, and they loved it. Because I was the only one who knew how to read in kindergarten. So, but like, it was good. Dude, it's just a good cartoon series. Like, or comic, whatever you want to call it. They're fun. I have like almost all the books. I was just collecting them, man. And so Alolan Persian is nasty looking. Just, who would want that as a pet? Just the roundness of the head. The biggest head the world has ever seen. Just go directly into F tier. Alolan Grimer, or Alolan Muck, I guess. Dude, I like the dark typing because when you add dark to poison, you eliminate the psychic weakness entirely. And so then Alolan Muck only has one weakness, which is ground. And most, like, pure poison types only have one weakness anyway, because they'll either have Levitate, which will eliminate the ground weakness, or, like, something else is going on. Or like most poison types, I should say, have very few weaknesses. Even the dual types. And then adding Dark is, like, the perfect foil to, like, anything. So Poison Dark in itself is one of the best defensive typings you can do. A Poison Dark type with Levitate would have no weaknesses. So, that's cool. They should do that at some point, I suppose. How about you go here? But okay, so I hate the way he looks. He's disgusting. He's got like piss lips. Grimer's got piss lips. Mug has piss like whole body and just like, dude, it's like a sorbet of Neapolitan nastiness. I hate how he looks. It's absolutely just vomit retch inducing. But he's really good at battling, because regular Muck is a good battler. Probably a pretty underrated Pokemon in my estimation, because it's actually got, like, pretty good attack, too, in addition to being super bulky. Alolan Muck just kind of enhances that, because you have the Dark-type stab, and you have one less weakness, and you can do more stuff with that. So, like, I just hate the way you look. That's why you're B tier. But you're a good battler. You're one of the best Alolan Pokemon, as far as, like, battling goes. But you're so nasty. If I ever touched you, I would wash my hands 1,000 times. Ugh. It's disgusting. Mega Gyarados, since regular Gyarados isn't Dark-type, this is the only Water-Dark interpretation of Gyarados. And it's like, it's good that they got rid of Flying, because Flying wasn't doing anything for him. Like, Flying is nothing but a weakness to Gyarados, because he doesn't get any Flying-type moves except Bounce now, which is still a dumb move for him to know regardless, and you have to, like, wait till your Magikarp's level 30 before you evolve it in order for him to do it. Or no, it's 40, isn't it? Because 30 is Flail. I think 40 is Bounce. Regardless, Yeah, so you get rid of the flying and then you add dark. Oh, dude, I totally forgot to play the damn music. This is the Team Snag'em hideout, by the way. Which is a great theme. It gets stuck in my head a lot, so I very much enjoy it. Bang, 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 bang. That's not where the music is right now, but I can't hear it, so I don't know. But Mega Gyarados is one of the better Megas, right? Because, adding the Dark type is a net improvement. Even if it didn't, like, do anything else, it's just a net improvement, just in terms of typing. So, you know, it removes the quad weakness to Electric, gives him a ×2 weakness to Bug and Fighting, but, like, that's kind of worth it. Because it also removes his weakness to Rock, so... Not that, you know, Gyarados has any trouble dealing with Rock types, but... Do I even rank Mega Gyarados? Like, I started talking about it, so it's like I might as well... I'll put him in A tier. He looks more like one of those, like, fish floaty things you see in, like, the sky in Japan sometimes. Like, if you play Kingdom Hearts 3, and you went to the Big Hero 6 world, San Francisco, you see those little, like, balloon things floating up in the sky? That's what Gyarados looks like, Mega Gyarados. Umbreon. Dude, he's my least favorite EV evolution. And it's only because he is a playstyle that I hate. I do not like tanks, I do not like stall tactics. And he's the only one that does that. Every other evolution is centered on attacking. Every other evolution is strong in some way or another in one of the attack stats. Umbreon's the only one that has super weak attack and super weak special attack, but is just super bulky. And debilitating, and like can use Moonlight and stall and recover and all that. But he looks cool. There's nothing wrong with the way Umbreon looks. He is a cool looking Pokemon. It's just that, like, whenever I get him in Pokemon Coliseum, because you start with Espeon and Umbreon, I put him in the box immediately, because I'm not going to use him. I'm not going to use him. I don't like using him. Umbreon goes into C tier because it looks good, but I hate the way it battles. So that's why. Hey, I did y'all a favor by not putting it in D tier. I expect donations as thanks ASAP. Thank you, you're welcome. Then we've got Murkrow, who will be judged separately from Honchkrow, because additional evolution that happened later. Murkrow is S tier. S tier Murkrow. Why? Because Murkrow is the coolest flying type Pokemon ever. And this is Dark type. So it is also one of the coolest Dark types ever. Dude, Dark Flying is just such a good type combination in terms of removing most of Dark's weaknesses. Because when you add Flying to Dark, you get rid of Bug and you get rid of Fighting. Fairy is still a thing, but it didn't used to be because, you know, Fairy's Gen 6, so... For the last 5 gens, Murkrow has enjoyed those novelties. Although, you know, Ice, Rock, and Electric then get added to Dark. It's not like Dark Flying is a great defensive type. I just like it conceptually. I just like the idea of a Pokemon that flies through the night sky, being all dark and stuff. And it's like, dude, that's cool. That's just cool. I like Murkrow. Murkrow, you know, super luck ability, gets the ability to crit better. Give it like Night Slash, gonna crit all day long. It can also, if you wanted to be a special attacker, it can learn Nasty Plot. It can set up, man. It's real good. So good for it, you know. And it's fast. It hits all my boxes. Then we've got Sneasel, who we ranked in Ice. Yeah, sure. And then, you know, just do Weavile in S as well. Or did we put Sneasel in A last time? I think we put Sneasel in A and Weavile in there. But the difference between Sneasel and Weavile and Murkrow and Honchkrow is that Sneasel is A and Weavile is S, whereas Murkrow is S and Honchkrow is, like, Super S. I love Honchkrow so much. It is one of my favorite Pokemon. Look at it. It's just like a mob boss. And, like, that's... Because Head Honcho, like, that's what the root of the name is, Honcho. It's like, Honchkrow is, like, actually a boss. It's like if Giovanni was a Pokemon. That's what Honchkrow is. Like, calling the shots, ordering the Murkrow around, like, ah, go over there, or whatever, and, like, do stuff. Honchkrow is so strong. It's got ridiculous stats, attack-wise and special attack-wise. So good. I am such a fan. Then we've got Houndoom, who we talked about in the Fire one, is basically just like a Pokemon that you never get to use. And Murkrow is that too, except thank God for Gen 4 letting you catch Murkrow in Eterna Forest at like level 11. Dude, that was the best thing they could have done. is so, because any other thing, it's like in Gold and Silver you can't even get Murkrow, or like I'm not sure where you get Murkrow. I have no idea where you get Murkrow. Isn't it like black? Isn't it like the route underneath Blackthorn City or something? Or like, is it at Mount Silver? It's like you can't get him. And then Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you can get him at the Safari Zone, but you still need like 7 badges before you can unlock the next like path that leads to the biome that Murkrow is even in. So like it's like you're not gonna be able to get it till like you're level 35 anyway. It's like they time gate the best Pokemon, and it's so annoying. But that's, you know, that's like one of the reasons why Diamond and Pearl is good to me. Like that's something they did that was great, was allow him to be caught early. Same with Misdreavus, depending on your version. Both of them pretty much occupy the same space in my heart in terms of me liking them, so. So yeah, Houndour, yeah, and then Houndour, like you need like 12 badges just to catch Houndour in like Gold and Silver or whatever. But Houndoom is S tier because, you know, he's really good. And that's the end of that line of thought. Like, that's all you gotta do, man. That's all you gotta know is that Houndoom is S tier. Tyranitar's got a quad weakness to fighting. It's weak against ground, it's weak against steel, it's weak against fairy, it's weak against water, it's weak against grass, it's weak against bug. Did I miss anything? It's weak against, like, more than a half of the types in this game. But it's so bulky that it's like, I don't know, does that make up for it? I mean, it kind of doesn't. I'm going to put Tyranitar in A tier. Tyranitar would be yet another example of a Pokemon that the game doesn't want you to use because they make it so you can't catch it until it's way too late. Like, you're done. You're done with the game by the time you can get Tyranitar. It was cool in Pokemon Coliseum, or was it XD? I don't remember which one it was. Either Coliseum or XD, you could trade with a dude who would give you a Larvitar if you went and caught wild Pokemon. And because it was wild Pokemon, I'm assuming it was XD now, because only XD had wild Pokemon in it. So you could get Larvitar at like level 20. You could get it like relatively early in the game, not, you know, like earlier to the beginning than to the end. So that was cool. That's like one of your only opportunities. It's like you need a spin-off game just to like make some of these Pokemon gettable. It's still annoying, man. I haven't seen Larvitar in the wild since then, by the way, in any of these, like, further gens of games. Even in, like, Gen 6, which, like, made a committed choice to put a bunch of these, like, previously, like, super rare Pokemon just in the wild in the beginning for you to get. Like, I still haven't seen Larvitar in the wild anywhere in, like, the last 4 gens. So, what are they gonna do with him? Bring him back, man. Make him one of the, legacies that you add to the Galar region. Make him be able to be caught relatively early. If you do, I'll catch one. And I'll be happy about it. But, yeah. It's just too elusive, man. Speaking of elusive, dude, why'd you make Feebas so fucking hard to catch in Gen 3? What's the point of that? Oh, there's one water tile and it's different every playthrough. You have to search like 1,000 of them. Dude, no. Someone trade me it. That's all that'll happen. Mightyena is a basic dog who I wish was better because, like, if you just look at it visually, like, it ticks all the right boxes for, like, companion Pokemon, just like Growlithe does, just like Rockruff does, like all these other dog Pokemon. Like, this is a solid-looking companion pet guard dog person that, like, if you saw someone with a Mightyena, you'd be like, hey, I mean, that's cool. Like, that, you know, good job. Like, I see what you did there. I like it. I like what you've done. You know, like, it's not a good battler very much at all, but it's intimidating looking, and, like, it looks cool to be next to. Like, if you say, go, Mightyena, and then you throw Mightyena out there, it's like, people are like, oh, yeah, that guy, all right, I see you. But unfortunately, it's not that good. So it's C tier for that. Then we've got Shiftry. I believe I put Shiftry in like D tier in grass, and I'm gonna have to agree with that for dark as well. There's better grass dark types, like Cacturne, for instance, who goes straight into S. Straight into S, just like he did in the grass type one. Still love him. Still hope he gets a Galar variant. Would very much love that. Then we've got Sableye, who is a load of missed potential, if you ask me. Mega Sableye is like not how I would have corrected Sableye. Dude, I hope... dude, give us Galar Sableye and Galarian Mawile as well. I would very much enjoy that. But Sableye is like one of those Pokemon the first time you saw it, you're like, dude, that looks super cool. And then unfortunately its stats are horrible and it doesn't evolve. So it's like, oh well, I wasted a slot on you, I suppose. But Ghost Dark, it was the first Ghost Dark type. It was the first Pokemon that didn't have any weaknesses, Sableye. So that's an OG right there. Cause Fairy didn't exist yet. So it's like, it's cool looking. It's really cool looking. It's not good though. I'm gonna put it in... I like it a little better than Mightyena and like Umbreon, so like I will put it in B tier and hope that something is done to make it better. That would be fantastic if you ask me. Mega Sharpedo is like Pinocchio Sharpedo because like the nose just gets tippier. It's like, how many lies have you told Sharpedo? None. It gets even bigger. Huh, Sharpedo! Sharpedo kind of sounds like Pinocchio. Not really at all, but you know. Regular Sharpedo, though, does go into A tier. It's, dude, you can blow on it and it'll die. That's the only thing that it's really got going on. Like, Houndoom is a glass cannon, but Houndoom actually has pretty good special defense, or like at least not terrible special defense. It's really its physical defense that is like super lacking. Sharpedo's got nothing going on at all. Defensive-wise. He will die to a paper cut, so... But he's really fast and he's a glass cannon and I like it. I do like that. But he goes into A tier. Because he's not quite S tier for me. Crawdaunt is B tier as far as dark types go. I do really like him. Conceptually. You know what? He goes into A tier, that's fine. And then we've got Absol. Who... you know, Absol and Zangoose were like the, like everyone's like, oh, you know, you go with the Seviper-Zangoose rivalry, but like Absol sort of is Dark-type Zangoose. The only problem is that because he was Dark-type, initially, he was not able, you know, he suffered from Sneasel syndrome, where he was unable to make use of his types, properly in the physical attacking sense, but now, you know, past Gen 4, Absol became extremely good and is on par with Zangoose now, if you ask me. Although, I think Zangoose would still win that battle. If they had a battle, because Zangoose would just use, like, Brick Breaker, like, close combat or something. And then... and Absol, like, isn't as fast as you think he is. So Zangoose would outspeed him and kill him in one hit, so that's a problem. But, you know, you don't judge people just by grudge matches against each other. Absol is still very, very good. I'm gonna put him in A tier now. He's really coming to his own, especially with the Mega is one of my higher rated Megas. Adding the Fairy type, giving him like Play Rough and stuff, and he learns like Psycho Cut. Like he has good coverage and he has a tremendous attack. So he can be extremely good. I'll put him in A tier. We got another Poison Dark type, Skuntank. Probably sort of underrated. It learns Flamethrower for some reason, I know that much. But, yeah, there's actually a lot of Poison Dark types in this game. And by a lot, I mean there's like 3. Alright, so, Skuntank I'm still gonna put in like B tier though. Pretty much on par with a Alolan Muck, probably. Faster, not as bulky. But like kind of bulky, like not bulky, just not as bulky. I don't think as strong either, but you still go B tier and it's fine. Poison Dark Skuntank. The only problem is like it's a skunk Pokemon, which means it's absolutely rancidly disgusting, and you would never want to train that. If you saw somebody throw out a Skuntank, you'd like just walk away from the battle. You'd be like, I don't want to associate with you. What life choices have led you to be like, ooh, Stunky, I want that Pokemon? It's like the type of person that would train a Stunky is not someone I want to associate with. And certainly not live with, because they're probably like super like pranky. They're like, oh, I got you, bro! You know? It's like, dude, get out of my life. Like, immediately. Spiritomb is, you know, Spiritomb was the next iteration of the Ghost Dark weaknessless situation, so it was cool in that regard. It's better than Sableye, like it just is. I'm gonna put it in A tier. because, you know, it's cool. And, like, you know, Champion Cynthia had a Spiritomb and, like, led with it, and I thought that's a pretty good Pokemon to lead with, because it's got no weaknesses, it can debilitate, but, like, you know, it's a pretty safe choice to just throw out there. So that's nice. Ghost Dark is redundant attack-wise, though, because Ghost and Dark are good against the same things, but, you know, defensively still very good. Then we got Drapion, which I always thought was Drapion, but it's not, it's Drapion. And I don't know which pronunciation I like better, honestly, Drapion or Drapion. Drapion sounds a little more, like, monstrous. It sounds more intimidating. Drapion sounds like it's just being draped over a clothesline like a fresh shirt or something. Drapion is like, well, I don't even know what the word drap is a root for anything, but, you know, it's fine. Drapion goes into, it's pretty, dude, all the poison dark types are really close together in terms of utility. So, like, Drapion does pretty much just stay in this lane with no real variance, you know? It gets, like, the difference, it gets some biting moves, it can get, like, Fire Fang, Ice Fang, so it's got okay coverage there, but, like, those are weak moves to have coverage for. Ice Fang is the only really useful one for you to get, like, quad damage on, like, Garchomp or a Dragonite, or your Dragon Flying or Ground Dragon stuff. The rest of them, it's like, you might as well just, you know, use Cross Poison or Crunch or whatever else you got for the stab, and then it pretty much equals out damage-wise. Then we've got Darkrai. I don't care about Darkrai. You can go in a B tier. Darkrai gives you nightmares. Is that his mouth, or is that a necklace? The red part. Is that, like, the bottom of his jaw, or is he just super stylish? It's hard to tell. Or is that, like, his big old tongue? We got a Greninja situation going on here? Who knows, man? You know, yeah, you know, like, I don't give much thought to legendary Pokemon, but Darkrai, I'll put him in B tier. That's fine. He's one of the cooler looking ones, I suppose. Then we've got Purloin and Liepard. Liepard was basically a Dark-type Persian before a Alolan Persian was a Dark-type Persian. Except Alolan Persian is, like, worse, I think. Doesn't Alolan Persian have worse stats than regular Persian, or am I making that up? But Liepard is like, it is like Persian in that I wish it had more attack, but otherwise it's really cool and I like it. So I will put it into B tier as well. It's like, because it's pretty much on the same level as Mightyena, right? Like, it just doesn't have enough attack, and that's the only issue with it. Although it's faster than Mightyena, but also I think, I don't know, Mightyena's like not bulky at all. I don't know if Liepard is more frail than Mightyena, though. I'm not sure about that. I'm going to put it in B tier because I'll at least put it alongside Sableye. I think it's a little bit better than Mightyena. Then we've got Crocodile, which goes straight into S tier. We know that from my ground-type tier list. Then we've got Scrafty, which goes straight into F tier. We know that from my fighting-type tier list. Then we've got Zorua, who is S tier, because separately I will rank it from Zoroark. Because look how cute this is. Like, this deserves special call-out. This is one of the cutest Pokemon that's ever existed. In such, like, a mischievous, like, naughty sort of way. Like, the color combination is just perfect. Like, I love it. I love that dark pale red. It's one of my favorite colors. And, like, you can see it on Crocodile as well. I like dark pale red. I like it combined with, like, a dark purple from, like, Drapion. Like, that's my color combination, like, if you look at my logo. Although the logo was supposed to have more dark pale red in it, but then the person was like, I don't know how to do that. And I was like, that's weird. But I like dark pale red and dark purple as a combo, so I'm going to work that into some stuff. But regardless, Zora was super good. Zoroark is, I mean, it's S tier too. It's just like, I want to have these, like, be, you know. Okay, so then is Zeraora Zoroark, but just electric type? Also, where did the dark type go? How come it's not dark type? They seem like they'd be related, so I don't know why they'd get rid of the dark type on that. I don't know the history, I don't know the lore behind Zeraora. So just forget that, I suppose. Then we've got... I don't know, I love his coverage. The fact that he, like, disguises himself, like, that doesn't matter that much, too much to me. It's kind of a cool mechanic, like, if you've got a Zoroark on your team, and then, you know, if you set your party up properly and to make it so that someone will use the absolute wrong move, like you would have Zoroark turn into, disguise itself as like a fighting type, for instance, or like a Toxicroak specifically, and then people are like, ooh, I'm gonna use Psychic on that Pokemon, and it's gonna be like, Psychic didn't affect Toxicroak, and you're like, what? And it's like, oh, it's a Zoroark then. I like that sequence of events. It makes me pleased. Ooh, Bisharp is S tier. I was trying to think to myself, like, what the... Because in the fighting type one, I was like, dude, there's a lot of Pokemon in Gen 5 that, like, evolve at, like, level 50 or some shit. And then I was thinking about me and Xiao, and I was like, I know there's another one. What was it? And it's Bisharp. Bisharp is so good. It's such a good Pokemon, and so hard to raise to get to that point. Evolves at level 50. Insane. Dude, a Pawniard, level 48 Pawniard. And you're like, dude, come on, just evolve. What are you waiting for? But Dark Steel type has some defensive issues, but it's so strong, and just like be careful, you know? Just be careful. Just be careful. I really love Bisharp. Then we've got Mandibuzz, who I don't like at all. I hate Mandibuzz. Vultures are gross. Vultures are nature's scavenging hose. I don't know. I don't like them. It's like a prehistoric vulture, because like with the bone in the hair and stuff. Also, Vullaby is just like, dude, if my child looked like Vullaby, I would bury it 6 feet underground. Who would raise this? Who would raise this? Ugh. Mandibuzz. Ugh. Gross. It's just, you know, that's all it is, really. It's super bulky, it's really hard to kill, it's really annoying to battle, and that's why I hate it. You know, if it sucked, and like wasn't a problem at all, it would still be F tier, because then it sucks, but it's like, if you're effective at the thing you do, and the thing you do is really annoying, then that's gonna put you into F tier as well. Hydreigon, as far as dark types, I mean, it's gotta be S tier also, right? Dude, dark types are so good. They have such power and stuff. Way less F dark types than I thought there would be, actually. I mean, you don't even need to explain Hydreigon. That's a given. Then we've got Greninja, right? Because Frogadier is not dark type yet. Ash Greninja, ooh, they have that form in there, dude. Ash Greninja, go right into S tier. Regular Greninja also go right into S tier, but like Ash Greninja is the most hype Pokemon that the show has ever done. There will never be... Ash's best Pokemon is Ash Greninja, of all the generations. And Ash is my favorite to watch battle. Dude, there's an Ash. Ash is such a good trainer. We're gonna go into this argument right now. Ash is such a good trainer, he brought out a form from a Pokemon that nobody knew existed. That competes with, like, Mega Evolutions. It's crazy. Ash... You cannot say that Ash is a bad trainer. You can't say that anymore. You can't. It's like, okay, here's how it goes. Ash gets to a gym, he loses to the gym leader because he's never seen what the gym leader does before. If you had never seen what a gym leader did before, you would also lose to said gym leader. Remember that the anime and the games have different rules. You can't just, like, mathematic out like a winning strategy. You gotta think way more outside the box than just like, oh, use Flamethrower, I win because he's grass type. That doesn't work in this. There are so many different angles you have to come into a battle with. You gotta think about how big the arena is, you gotta think about how fast your Pokemon is, how well you've trained it, what its like quirks are, like personal quirks, like Oshawott not being able to use Aqua Jet without closing its eyes, like those kind of things. Until you fix that, you have to think about different, like, immunities the other Pokemon might have built up through, like, special training. Like, oh, like, Scyther, the way Scyther, like, shrugs off Flamethrower in the Generation 2 show, when Cyndaquil is up against Bugsy, and he's using Flamethrower, and he's using Swords Dance to, like, spin around and, like, brush that off, and, like, dude, why does that work? You can do that? And then, like, he figures that out by, like, going above Scyther and then doing the flamethrower downwards. And it's like, dude, you naysayer of Ashe, you person who shits on Ashe at every possible opportunity, you never would have thought of that in a million years. Guaranteed. That's just it. That's how it is. Ashe is a person who has very little inherent knowledge, but he is a master of adaptation. Nobody is better at adapting in trainer battles than Ashe is. Not a single person, and you cannot tell me otherwise. Huh, Ashe is a really good trainer. Alright, so... what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Ashe Greninja's high path. How about we go to... what was next? Oh yeah, Pangoro? Dude, Pangoro's A tier. We can't just keep putting people into S tier. Pangoro is A tier on the level of Absol, on the level of Crawdaunt and Sharpedo. Pangoro is one of my better favorite fighting types. I wish it was, like, better looking, like, as Pancham is, because Pancham's not dark fighting yet until... Pancham is only fighting type until it evolves and then becomes dark fighting type. Okay, yeah. And then it only evolves if there's another dark type Pokemon in your party, so, like, Pancham evolves into Pangoro through peer pressure to be evil, I suppose. But... yeah, so that's weird. Interesting. Then we got Malamar, who is, as far as dark types go, is also A tier. Dude, contrary superpower. Every time you use superpower, boost your attack and defense. That's just a fantastic setup there, right there. And then, you know, it's got like Psycho Cut, it's got like Foul Play, Night Slash, whatever you want to give it. It can learn Pluck because it has a beak, so it can learn some flying type moves. It's got crazy coverage. A quad weak to Bug. But then if you give it Pluck, you'll just... it doesn't matter. But, you know, same... Malamar's good. Malamar in the show is like, it can take over the world, and like, that's a frightening Pokemon right there. Because it not only does it have the ability to, like, control human minds, it has a reason to. It has an actual goal of world domination in mind as they, like, plot to do stuff. Malamar is, like, super scary. How are you gonna train a Malamar without worrying about just becoming its servant, I suppose? Yveltal is, you know, everyone calls it just it's a strip of bacon. But it's also, like, cool, really cool looking. Yveltal is super cool looking. I think Xerneas is better in, as far as those two legendaries are concerned, but Yveltal is still pretty good. Then you've got fucking Jojo the dumbass over here again. Go into F tier. I don't want to see you again. I thought you were Ghost Psychic type. Why are you Dark now? Regular Hoopa is Ghost Psychic type, but then you become Unbound and you turn to Dark. I don't know what happens. So, and then, oh, Incineroar? Yeah, Incineroar goes into A tier. A tier for Incineroar as far as Dark goes. Incineroar would beat Houndoom in a fight. Like, easy. Guzzlord is the last one here. I actually know the name of this one. It's an Ultra Beast, and it's just a dump truck of a monster. It's, what is it? It just eats the world. It eats everything. I don't know. I think, doesn't it have like 230 base HP or something like that? It's like impossible to kill. Go into C tier, fine. Like, just be average like that. But that's gonna do it for this. Dude, I knew there would be a ton of S tiers, and we got them. We got Murkrow, Weavile, Honchkrow, Houndoom, Cacturne, Crocodile, Zorua, Zoroark, Bisharp, Hydreigon, Greninja, and Ash Greninja. And then in F tier, we got Alolan Raticate, Alolan Persian, Scrafty, Mandibuzz, and this abomination over here. So that's gonna do it for this tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at SunburnedAlbino. Got more tier lists to come, and even when the types are done, there's other ways to rank the Pokemon. I'm just gonna keep doing it until I get bored, basically. So stick around, and I'll see you guys next time.